What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and it's in our Washington football team franchise. This could very well be the final season of this series, and I know there's a couple of you guys that are, watching, oh no, why, please don't, and then some of you guys are like, about damn time. But there's some interesting news, because Dwayne Haskins, and it's not just, unfortunate news for the team, unfortunate news for him. It's with a heavy heart, we must announce that he had been diagnosed with a heart disorder, which of course will mean that he's going to be monitored. Not saying that he's done with football forever, but as of right now, both sides have to part ways as of right now. So a forced early retirement from Dwayne Haskins, maybe down the line, I don't know. But as of right now, he is not cleared to play football. It's unfortunate coming off of the eve of, well, maybe not the eve, but basically the eve of his NFL career of a Super Bowl victory. And unfortunately, he can no longer play. And not only is that, which of course it's bad, but there's a ripple effect. There has already been rumors inside the organization that there is no trust going forward without Dwayne Haskins, and you could see why. The man was a two-time MVP, a Super Bowl winning guy, and he was, 25 years old? There's some names that have been, there's been some names circling in our front office saying they may request a trade, and some of them are pretty big names. One like and one sub equals a prayer for our offseason, as this is going to be brutal. We'll have to see as, free agency continues on. But let's take a look and see who our re-signed players need to be. As of right now, negotiations are open. Tyler Claxton, maybe somebody we think about keeping. Seth Robinson, maybe someone we think about keeping, because, of course, with Dwayne gone, he would be one of the top front-running names. I feel like you kind of have to keep him. But there's other names. Kalichi Assembly, maybe. Our right tackle decided to retire. Morgan Moses is now gone. Kicker Dustin Hopkins going to get on the older side. I think we might move on to a new kicker. There's a lot of things happening in this organization. Started off so weak, turned it all around, and then this unfortunate news completely has us flipped upside down again. But as far as quarterbacks go, I think if Seth Robinson is willing to re-sign for a 4-year $15, like he is, we are obviously going to take him back. Anything else that we're missing? These guys are some pretty valuable backups. I don't want to let Troy Apke go, so we're going to re-sign him. $6.5 million deal on a 3-year. Totally worth it for both sides, I think. Tyler Claxton, maybe somebody you think about keeping, as, like I said, there's a lot of names on the list. Trying to think, what are his traits? You could do better than that. You can do better than that. I like star development, but you could definitely do better than that. But let's take a look at free agency. $36 million to work with. Of course, Orlando Brown is there. Mike McGlinchey. There's some names here that could obviously help us. Dante Jackson could be one of those names. Rashawn Evans. Obviously, it's not as simple as just getting the players. They do have to agree as well. We have Josh Oliver and Thaddeus Moss. We're definitely looking for a new tight end. Is David Njoku the guy? I don't know. There's some names here that could definitely make us better right out the gate, but we'll have to see. Mike Hughes. There's some names. There's definitely some names. Mike McGlinchey would be a nice name, but I do not know if he'd be willing to sign with us. All right, with the free agency period 1 being over, we do get Mike McGlinchey, which is really nice. It's obviously a huge upgrade for the O-line. Hell, if nothing happened in the offseason, this would make us even way better. However, not only do we have no Dwayne Haskins, but looking at the free agency class there, they have decided to pull the trigger. Terry McLaurin has decided he does not want to work with another developmental guy. He misses Dwayne. He wants to go to a team with an established quarterback similar to Dwayne Haskins. So he has requested a trade, unfortunately. And we already knew Emmanuel Hall was sick of Washington. We completely just disrespected the man. He barely got to play, and he was a starting caliber talent. So he was going to end up being packaged with Terry McLaurin. Now, don't get me wrong, the compensation isn't terrible for us, but Terry McLaurin, Emmanuel Hall get traded to the Green Bay Packers to join Aaron Rodgers for a first and third round pick. Problem with those picks are they are later on in the first round. So we have 28, 32, 64, 92, a fourth, two fourths actually. So we had to try to replace a wide receiver. Now, I'm not saying that it's the biggest need in the world. Even after we lose those guys, maybe our depth is wrong. Maybe it's off. But as long as Ross stays healthy, which I cannot guarantee in fairness, we do have 2 top-tier wide receivers. We're looking to draft a tight end. I don't know if we can do that anymore, though, with the need at wide receiver. Maybe we actually do have to draft wide receiver. And then also going to be looking at the quarterback position. Looking at cornerbacks, another guy that there's been rumblings about is Kendall Fuller. It's not that he doesn't want to stay on the team. It's just that he wants to play safety again. And unless we get rid of Landon Collins, which, I mean, I suppose we could think about doing, we really can't play him at safety. So we're going to have to think about our options. It's either get rid of Landon or maybe move him to linebacker or trade Kendall Fuller because, I mean, if Terry McLaurin can request a trade, obviously he could do whatever he wants, basically, and he can be traded off the team. Pretty much anyone on this roster can pretty much get a request trade. And like we said, there was an option. It's either you get rid of Landon or you get rid of Fuller. Fuller is the better player. It's going to suck to have to move him to free safety because corner is going to be lacking hard. But we are pretty much forced to move Landon Collins off the roster, and we trade him to the Seattle Seahawks for pick 72, giving them now the hardest hitting safety duo in the league. We used to have that title with Neal, but now it's without a doubt the Seattle Seahawks with Jamal Adams and Mr. Landon Collins. Now, as far as the rest of the roster goes, I think everyone is happy. I know some of the D linemen, Deron Payne, Matthew Ioannidis, and Jonathan Allen have been fighting a little bit with, who should get the majority of the snaps, but I think those guys can work it out. They've been together for way too long now to not do that. Of course, tight end, there's a little bit of disgruntledness there as Thaddeus thinks he should be the starter. Oliver thinks he should be starter, and Oliver obviously does have a good point. But Antonio Gandy-Golden has also emerged as a guy that wants to be potentially traded or moved to a different position again. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen there, but we'll have to see, obviously. And then quarterback. I mean, there's a lot of names here. No one's really shown outside of Seth Robinson that they want to start. Like Tyrod is just happy being in his read option potential backup role. Rosen does want to start, I think, but he also understands where his place is on the team. But obviously, that kind of worries me because he should be the starter, right? Like he's the number one look after Dwayne is gone. So I don't know if he got just too comfortable with Dwayne being the guy or not, but yeah, the team's getting worse. There's so many leadership question marks. I don't know what to do anymore. We get Crossan as a cornerback backup and then also Jacob Martin as a pass rush backup. We have fifth-year options. Montez Sweat, I think we'll just pay him, assuming we can afford all these players. I mean, I guess we don't have to pay Dwayne, so I suppose I wouldn't say a good thing, but, there's tiny silver lining, and that's what they would say if I had a aluminum condom on. Get like tiny peen, nothing. All right, start the NFL draft. Now, there are a few options here for us. There's a lot of safeties that, we would maybe try to convert to cornerback. That's the inner Packers fan in me. Nathan Kilmer is one of them. 6'1", 214, 22 years old, 4.48 40 time. We also do have Benjamin Claxton, 4.48 40 time, kind of similar stuff. But his top skills are zone coverage, so maybe he's actually a safety. I don't know, but he's 6'3", decently fast. Kilmer, I think, is the better of the two. But I think we can wait on Claxton more. So if we can go to like pick 19 and then maybe make our first of potentially many trade-ups in this draft. I mean, hell, we might even find another player on the freaking list that might actually want to get traded. So I don't know. Maybe even more trades are coming for players. And as far as quarterback goes, there's only one decent one. He's kind of like a faster type of guy that we have in the third round. All the other guys are red anyways, but this guy is red, but he has potential, and if you're going to risk it, you might as well risk it on a guy that's, later on rather than a first-round pick. And Claxton does go, unfortunately. That was kind of fast. That's what she said. Do we have anyone else here? Zone coverage? That guy is probably too slow, right? Could convert this guy, TJ Hood. Put him on the list, I suppose. How tall is he? 6'2". He is faster, so I don't know, maybe. That's a little bit of an unfortunate. As you can see here, there's not... I think Claxton was the actual first corner to go, and you can see here, cornerbacks are really bad in this class. With that being said, we really should have traded up earlier. Is that the guy we were just about to go for, too? No, it's Hood. Hood is the guy. Early second, he's still there. I'm going to take the risk. TJ Hood, and he is hidden development, 73 overall. Now that we're on next gen, it says draft a rookie with hidden development trait as an achievement. Now, the thing about this guy, where's his catching? 76 catching, though. The thing about this guy is obviously his man coverage does suck tremendously. And I will also say he's a little bit slower than I would have expected at 4.4. 91 speed, 88 excel. It seems a little bit slower than he should be, but that's an absolute win. Even though he's 23, that's an absolute win. Got to compare him to Kilmer, the free safety, and then obviously, straight up comparison between him and Claxton. I still think Claxton probably would have been better. He's younger by a year. He's 6'3". He's a true corner. We might have sold a little bit there. Leo Jackson, his weight's a little bit lower than I would have expected, but I kind of viewed him as maybe a linebacker. I don't know. Maybe he can gain some weight in the offseason. We also do have a tight end. I don't know how good he is, but the top skills look good. The combine grade looks good. He's young, so, you kind of have to take him. And then this guy is a very strange player, but because he's 5'7" and fast, I almost have to get him. So, it's going to be an interesting draft. We do need a guard still. Anyone else? There's a lot of players on our list. This is the guy I was talking about with... kind of an interesting player. I kind of want him. I don't care. But with this pick, I think because we have so many really good-looking players here, looking good, we're going to move down to like 42, 44, one of the two. All right, it's almost like we were trading up. Pick 32, Schweitzer and Corey Clement for 42 and 74. I know Schweitzer, whatever his name is. See the Chargers bust out. Okay, I can't tell. That could be a good pick. Pick 10, if the guard's there, we're going to take him. I really don't know how to feel about this guard. He looks good on paper. Well, it doesn't matter. He's gone. So, forget about anything I've said. The last lineman that looks decent is this guy, but out of the risk is there. We got to take a look at that lineman anyways, whenever we're out of here. Leo Jackson, huh? Third? I don't want to risk the quarterback. I get it's a little high, but Titus Campbell. Where did Titus Howard? Oh, yeah, the right tackle for the Texans. We drafted him a lot. Looks really good. Really good. Top skills are decent, and he is a hidden development, 66 overall, looking like Donovan McNabb. Of course, really, really raw. 94 throw power, 84 on the run, break sack of 88, 85 speed, 87 trucking, 81 stiff arm, 84 juke move. Cam 2.0, anyone? Obviously, we have to take a look at the development, but hey, the comparison's there. It's the comparison's there. I think we have ourselves a front runner. And did we miss the tight end? We actually missed the tight end. I completely forgot about tight end. Yikes. I really don't know who tight end's kind of trash now. Completely forgot about that position. Damn. I suppose Reggie Carter's still there. We're selling hard. We almost lost like half of our players. Reggie Carter, 5'7", looks like a lot of fun. Hopefully he's durable. And he's a 72 overall normal development player. 96 speed, 92 excel, 91 agility. Releases looking okay for a rookie. Deep route. He's a very interesting player. Pretty damn jukey as well. Injuries good. Toughness a little low, but he looks pretty good to me. Number 10. I don't think we should even change the number on him. I like a Reggie Carter. Nice. Then, of course, Leo Jackson's still there. We do also have these guys, so I don't know who I'm really willing to take. Tyler Barkley. If Leo Jackson's there, we're going to take him, simply put. We could also maybe trade back a few. Yeah, we got to risk it. Leo Jackson, 70 overall normal. And like I said, he kind of Kind of built for that, with 64 block shit, kind of built for that linebacker role. We'll see what we can do with him in the offseason, but might maybe trade some picks back, because we do need a tight end kind of badly. We might actually have to trade for one. We could also use a lineman. I don't know. Like, this is kind of when you would expect to take this guy if you want him, but I mean, you're really bailing out for... Let's take a look at how our line looks. So the projected starters, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth risking any more picks. And Cordero Patterson is, like, dead. What the hell happened to him? Oh, do we have regression on? I forgot about that. I'm almost willing to take this guy over anyone. I know we got Leo Jackson and whatnot, but, like, that guy looks really solid. We do have a late third. I'm going to trade this down for next year. We're trading with Miami, getting a third and a fourth next year for pick 10 in the third. A lot of the trades were actually really good. I don't know if there's some really good players here or what's the story. Keenan Michaels, I think that was a first-round projected wide receiver. Maybe the next DK Metcalf type of situation. And Christopher Favorite is still there. Good 3-cone. I'm going to take him. Christopher Favorite it is. 70 overall, normal. I mean, you can't be mad. Of course, the catching does suck. Good hit power, good speed, great acceleration. Coverage is lacking a little bit. I mean, he looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not mad with it. Moved to 19 in the 4th round. Not a bad draft. Not a bad draft. I would have liked to see the tight end. Maybe we can still make a trade for him. I don't know if that's something that'll be done. We'll have to give him quite a bit if we want to get him, though, I'd say. So I don't know if it's going to be worth it. We'll see. And, of course, these linemen look kind of brutal. I'll keep them on the list just in case they do actually go undrafted, but yeah, let's move down a little bit more. Or till next year again. Yeah, we got a 4th round from the Niners next year. Like, linebacker's not the biggest need for us. It's just like there's so many decent looking linebackers here. Like, look at how fast. Oh, the 3-cone kind of sucks, actually. Never mind. I'm gonna risk it a little bit. Casey Carmichael, the right tackle, 66 overall, normal. Okay. Let's not talk about it. I risked it, and it was not worth it. It did not pay off at all. But I still think we had a really good draft, especially considering we added a couple of things for next year. Don't really need a safety, but let's go for him. He looks really solid. 66 overall, normal. I mean, there's potential there, but I mean, he's just going to be a backup for now. Okay, I wasn't going to go for him, but like he's still here, late 6. I'm doing it. 65 overall, normal. Agility kind of sucks, but he's actually pretty damn good, so not a bad pick. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. Not a bad pick, though. And we're going to take a tight end just for the hell of it. Tyson Bell, 56 overall. A bit of a yikes. Oh, I forgot we can't check devs. Well, at least for our guys. How many devs do we have? TJ Hood, 1, 2. So 2 hidden developments. That's not bad. We will take a look at the other guys, though. Obviously, we'll have to compare them later on. But Kilmer, normal development trade. Okay, glad we did not trade up there. Let's take a look at the other. I mean, we weren't going to make a trade up for a tight end like this, but Miles Davidson, 87 speed, 92 excel. Wow, that guy is very fast, though. Not a bad pick, even though he's, normal. Where is the corner we missed? Claxton, the 6'3" corner. Okay, so, I mean, kind of dodged a bullet, right? Not even kind of. We definitely dodged a bullet. Interesting stuff. There was another player, right? The tight end. Oh, he didn't even go that much further ahead of us. 74 hidden. Ooh. I'm going to take a look at that Browns roster. They still have Hooper, because if they do, I might give them a decent pick. They took him in the late 2nd. I mean, that's near 1st round compensation at least. I mean, they still have Hooper, so like, why? I mean, they have Harrison Bryant as well. Do we make a trade? I think we do. Of course, we are in the preseason now, so let's first take a look at free agency. See if there's any... No, this isn't what we were looking for. See if there's any, maybe there's a rookie tight end in here with hidden, but I highly doubt it, just because even if there was, they'd probably suck, because I looked at all the combine grades on those last couple of picks. They were pretty bad. Pretty much everyone was like a freaking offensive lineman for speed. Terrence Byers, I mean, that's kind of a miss by us, I suppose. Definitely better than the guy we had, but I suppose he is also older. But yeah, so let's go through every player and see if there's any hiddens. We did find a left end with hidden, and he is kind of a bigger player. It's very interesting, though, because he's playing like he looks like he's supposed to be on the edge. Of course, I don't know if he'll ever start for us, but obviously worth a signing there with pretty much a minimum deal and hidden. Now, this might have been a reach, but I was willing to give them a full first-round pick and a fourth-round pick for Julian Kelly. Of course, obviously, that's a bit of a risk, but considering, our last first-round pick wasn't really, that important. I know we did get a safety, I suppose, but, our last pick wasn't great. This is a risk, though, because, once again, we are starting with a brand-new roster here, basically, and I don't know. I really don't know what to think about it. We will be able to trade Thaddeus off for, a third, though, so it's not the worst situation in the world. We have to fix some things, and then I think we'll probably play one preseason game and then see what the preseason looked like after the fact. Because I do kind of want some natural progressing as well. I want to see, how the guys play without our intervening, I suppose, would be the wording for it. So, yeah, obviously a very rough roster, but I mean, not a rough roster, but some of our positions are definitely rough. Defense should be fine, but obviously having to replace a cornerback like Fuller, even though, he's at safety, it's a bit of a challenge. It's definitely a bit of a challenge, but mainly that offense. We did get a new right tackle, in fairness, but obviously having to replace Terry McLaurin, and he was literally almost Calvin Johnson yardage status last season, and then a brand new quarterback, probably Titus Campbell. I don't know. We did sign Seth Robinson, so we'll have to see, but Campbell's probably the front runner right now. We trade Thaddeus Moss and Cole Holcomb to the Texans for their third this, a fifth next, and a backup right tackle. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Matthew Ioannidis, the man, I mean, honestly, the best pass rusher on the team, better than Chase Young, if we're really going to be honest about it, has actually demanded a trade himself. I thought it was nothing. I thought they were just kind of joking, haha, this and that. But I guess Matthew Ioannidis took it seriously. He actually had a private meeting and said, the other guys don't respect me, and they're going to see just how hard it is without me on the line. And I hate to see him go, but, I mean, we're respecting pretty much everyone's wishes here. It's better to trade them off now than to get literally nothing when they decide not to re-sign in a year's time. So we traded Matthew Ioannidis and a fifth-round pick for the second-round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The team is tremendously going down and down and down, but I think, hopefully, as of right now, hopefully it's done. Please tell me no one else wants to leave. Please, because it's already looking kind of bad. It's already, we lost so much talent on this team. No Terry McLaurin, no Emmanuel Hall. We have Kelly, but we lost Thaddeus. I mean, the team is in an interesting place, to say the least. All I know is for all that joking, Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, they better step up. Of course, we did always have Michael Bush, who's not really a good pass rusher, but a decent block-shedding youngster with star development trait, but still, it's a big fill to try and... Who's Big Phil? to try and fill Matthew Ioannidis' place. All right, this is what the projected starters look like for the regular season. Hubbard has an upgrade. Everyone's ability should be set. Once again, we had some regressions in dev. Actually, I believe Reuben Foster was a X-Factor, wasn't he? And he was an X-Factor, and he obviously deserves it, so we'll give him back X-Factor. Next gen is a B word, I'll tell you what. I'm just hoping Reuben Foster stays healthy because, he's obviously a guy that would never, at least I hope not, would never require us to trade him away. So, we want him to stay healthy. We want him to be a starter. Throughout all of his issues, we stuck with him, and now he thankfully is sticking with us. By the way, am I on drugs? I swear Montez Sweat was Superstar. He must not be, though, because it would have dropped him right there. I guess not. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anyone, because this team... It's looking rough. I'm looking at it, I was like, what? We also have our rookie corner that needs to be put back in his rookie corner spot, but, things happen. I didn't know there was an actual position for rookie corner, by the way. As far as the line goes, I can't really tell if it's an upgraded line because, like I said, McGlinchey is way better than Moses, by far, but Assembly was way better than Sadiq Charles. I don't know. I feel like, we like to run on the inside. This could be a worse offensive line because of that. And also, is Hubbard about to get a second ability here in a second? We might as well go for elusive back, get him to 85. Let's see what we get. So, As far as the upgrade itself, not bad. Agility, juke move, and an ability slot. Short out elite. I'm trying to think. Evasive, I don't know. He's not like a great player for evasive. Human joystick obviously is a very far ability. Reach for it. Grab and go. Reach for it. I think reach for it makes the most sense because he's always trying to get as much yardage as he can. And then as far as Sims goes, he gets another upgrade. So let's go deep threat. Gets him to 85 overall, and he gets a speed upgrade plus 2 deep route. That's not a bad upgrade at all. And he gets short out elite. I'm not sure how that's related to deep, but hey, I'll take it. Whatever works. He's the new number 2, so he will have those out route looks more often than before. Oh yeah, and then for the final, news. I don't know if you want to consider this a positive thing, especially with all the rumors around this team and the potential disrespect coming from the front office half the time with players and misconduct. But Leo Jackson gains about 30 pounds, putting him at middle linebacker. Of course, he gets a little bit slower, drops a speed, drops 2 excel, drops an agility or 2. But overall, looking pretty damn good. I'm not going to say that he's going to start anytime soon, but if there's an injury or Luke Green plays really bad or maybe Reuben Foster does request a trade, once again, I don't expect that at all, but you never know. So let's get into it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, Hubbard obviously looking excited for year number 2. He knows that it's going to be a bit tougher on him this year with teams obviously bearing down on the run a little bit more than normal against us. And by a little bit more, it might be way more because obviously it's a completely new team with us. They have Trey Lance, I believe, is their starting quarterback. Number 2 for us, though, Mr. Titus Campbell. Of course, tight end position did get a little bit better for us already with the rookie we traded for, and I hope it did because we gave up a whole first round for him. So if not, that's a bit of an L on our part, I ain't going to lie. But obviously the quarterback position is a huge question mark. Wide receiver is a big question mark. How are these guys going to play without Terry McLaurin, taking the double team the majority of the game? We have our number 3 slot guy playing the number 2 spot now. Our number 1 guy is an injury-prone player. I know he got a healthy season last season, but you never know when he's going to go down. And then obviously our number 3, our slot guy, he's built perfectly for the slot, but we might need him to step up and become more than that. So, I mean, this is a questionable roster. Of course, Matthew Ioannidis being gone, our cornerback position definitely downgrading a bit as Kendall Fuller requests to go to free safety, and because of that, Landon Collins had to be traded. I mean, there's a lot of things on this team that got a lot worse. But, of course, at that same very time, our right tackle's been improved. Our, like I said, the tight end position's been improved. And, maybe technically free safety's been improved. We lost a little bit for the cornerback position, but obviously Fuller being able to fly around rather than landing, kind of just going for hit sticks only, we get a little bit more versatility on defense. So we'll see. Trey Lance, obviously, lower overall, but lots and lots of potential. Very high upside. Definitely excited for this young man to see what his future holds. Of course, I really like this stadium. I like the way it looks right now at night. Jonathan Allen on the D-line getting double teamed. I will say it's going to be picked off by Darby on the very first throw because of the pressure from Daron Payne. What a play, everybody. All right, out on offense is Mr. Campbell. Of course, very rough, but good throw power, decent speed, juke ability. I like it. I like it all. Here, we're going to test them already. It's not a big test, but we're going to see if we can get like a quick read on defense, on offense, and there's just no one there. I mean, everyone is locked down. Of course, I'd like to see Campbell put the ball on there, but, he can't do perfect every time. Not a bad draft class at all. I like a lot of the picks there, so it'd be what it'd be. Defense looking pretty good here for them, but the pitch could work. Let's see. To the outside, and we are going to get absolutely locked up there. We lose 4.5 yards, 5. They're going to call it on the play. It's a bit of a struggle already. That's a little bit of a yikes from me, dog. Julian Kelly, potentially the look here. There's really no one open. He's going to take this shot, and Carter had it in his hands. That is the perfect throw, and he misses the catch. Matt Gay on the kick is going to have the distance most likely, and he does The first points of the season. Of course, it is preseason, so it doesn't really count. But Matt Gay, definitely a little more excited for him to be our kicker, as obviously our previous kicker didn't have that much of a leg comparatively. 3.44 kick power. That's the extra couple of yards on each kick. Now Keanu Neal, the sole hit-sticking god on the secondary, and Hood makes an amazing play on Juju Smith-Schuster. However, he's got to finish that. He's got to either get the pick or knock the ball out. That is perfect D, and he just blows the most important part. Trey Lance going to get the snap. It's going to be another pass. Chase Young gets the pressure. They're going to throw it out, and we miss hard again. Hood kind of, maybe reminding me of a Jonathan Abram here. I know, in fairness, Jonathan is a pure safety, whereas Hood was a safety and we converted him, but, great burst on the play. He just doesn't finish. Of course, a youngster, first real NFL snap. Obviously, it's preseason, but still, going against the number ones, it still counts. Both teams are going to take this pretty seriously. Game planning might be a little bit different, but overall, it's still a pretty serious matchup regardless. Chase Young gets pushed hard and to the outside. Fuller gets caught in man coverage, and you kind of see maybe why he wanted to go back to his safety role. Man coverage is really not his strong suit. Green in coverage on a wide receiver. We ask a lot of this young man. I'm going to be honest. To the outside, we get burned. It wasn't even us. It was Darby's job. Kind of maybe got confused a little bit there because Darby actually let his guy get super inside leverage on there. So I was kind of thinking, do we have to cover that guy? Of course, not a bad drive from Pittsburgh this time around. Samuels, and we miss hard. Luke Green tackling Samuels down to the 21-yard line. Chase Young in coverage, but let's make it at least look good. Make it look like he's actually going to, pass rush. We can't get in there. Chase Young forces the fumble, recovered by the rookie Hood. Chase Young chasing down the play and absolutely hammering him. What a play. Got 2 outs for the tight ends. One shorter than the other. We're going to take that early to Oliver, who has some room. And he's going to show off a little bit of speed. Takes it to the 31 past Minkah Fitzpatrick. I mean, that is a surprising man to beat. Off. What? Oliver, another potential look deep. They're blitzing hard. Or they're bringing their guys down hard at least. And here goes Ross. Gaining a lot of yards, actually fighting hard, gets to the 43. What a nice little run there. Of course, you're probably going to see this often in the regular season, but not too much in preseason. Mr. Campbell on the read option, and he gets it, and he runs by a guy, and look at him go! And he's running through another! Oh, the man's electrifying. To the freaking 27. 30 yards gained. Oh my, tackled in the backfield, attempted in the backfield at least, and he slips away. Look at him, running through him, man. This guy is going to be fun. 19.9 miles per hour. Kind of like an athletic tight end build, which is, that's not bad. It's not knocking him down or anything like that. Oh, we got to go straight up the middle. They are not ready for it. Which is so weird after a run. You would think that's what they would go for. And now running a guy over is Hubbard, gaining 9 yards. His offense getting slippery with it. Carter on the drag. That's something that should be really hard to cover him with. Look at Carter here. Absolutely burned there. Gains 6 yards. That is a tough man to cover in that situation. Stretch play to the left. Hubbard from the 12-yard line. Let's see what we can do. And can't do anything. Probably should have went for the spin move instead of the cut move. Hubbard not having a great performance so far. Obviously, he had that nice little juke move or whatever, but one little juke move doesn't solidify you playing well or not. That's a little bit of a bad read, but obviously Hubbard fast enough to get out in front of Bush. Not looking like a good finish to the drive, I'll tell you what. Carter maybe gets open. Inside, and Ross drops the ball. Perfect throw from Campbell, and all for nothing as it's going to be another field goal. Right, not sure how much more we're going to see of the starters as it's the start of the second quarter. They do get a field goal attempt on their drive, but they do not get it. Of course, like I said, not going to not know how many times you're going to see the starters as the backups are officially in. And a man we all love around here, Mr. Cordero Patterson, gains 7 yards on the first snap on offense for him of the preseason. Of course, Robinson maybe getting the short end of the stick here because obviously he was pretty damn good in the game he played over Haskins and Parsons down to the 45. I mean, he kept us undefeated. I mean, we gave him a 4-year deal for a reason. Obviously, he could request a trade himself, and I wouldn't even blame him. Obviously, if it comes down to it, that Titus is the starter, and he looks strong out the gate. I mean, if I'm him, I would also request a trade. Not going to lie, though, Robinson, that was a very bad miss. And, of course, we didn't see a single miss like that from Campbell. And he's supposedly supposed to be worse. Robinson did play a full season, even if he was a backup. There goes Gibson gaining 5 yards. Nice little cutback lane. Speaking of Gibson, looking to go to him again, running the screen pass here. And Gibson, I don't know if that's pass interference or what that is. They're going to tell us to go for it. And I suppose I agree. Gay could probably hit this, and maybe we want to test him, but let's go for it. I mean, I think they're kind of ready for the run, so we're going to pass it to the tight end, and the ball is there, and Oliver, sure-handed as can be, catches the thing. We might have jumped the gun a little bit. I ain't going to lie. Maybe we jumped the gun with trading for a tight end when Oliver has played pretty good, but there goes Golden. Gandy Golden, and look at the speed, man. I don't know why this man isn't one of the guys that has requested a trade at this point. Like, why wouldn't you? Of all the players, he should be the first one on the list. Well, maybe not the first one. I would say Emmanuel Hall probably had the most reason to be traded. Not like our choice, but just in general. Robinson obviously in trouble there. Not a great decision to run out there, but those are things you learn. He might have sat for a year, but he sat. Being in the NFL, it helps to learn, but you still have to play to learn. And Watkins gets the catch. And no, that is not Sammy Watkins. That is our like 5th string wide receiver, Watkins. All right, Gandy Golden on the chip. Hit as he's thrown. Nothing you can do about it. Almost got it out to Watkins. This Watkins guy is kind of flashing on tape so far. Yeah, I'm looking for everyone, but oh no, I know Watkins. That is Mr. Quez Watkins, the speedster, the burner. That's who it is. He is our 5th string guy. I'm not wrong, but I was thinking it was someone else, but no, it is who I thought it was. And he's in trouble. He's going to drop it. And Gibson's going to get the ball. He's going to try to turn it into something. He gets it pretty much a loss of 3, but damn, the line kind of sold. Looked to go to the tight end, but obviously the play was gone. And once again, we're going to treat this like another learning scenario. We're up by 13, so I mean at the end of the day, we don't really care too much about winning, but we're going to test it. We're going to, act as if this is a situation where we're down in the game. You don't get the conversion, you lose the game. We gotta have these testing situations, and I mean it works out as Cordero Patterson gets the catch and more to the 45-yard line. So the drive will continue. Really good throw under a bit of pressure, a little bit. Double move by the tight end on the inside. Not going to get it, and unfortunately a terrible throw as it was going to be one-on-one. Gibson gains 3 yards minimum, and once again has a chance to break it for a gain of maybe 20. So bad throw costs us potentially 20 yards there. And we're going to take that to Cordero. Great comeback to the ball, and Cordero's just a gamer. He's just a monster. The man doesn't know how to give up, and that's what I love about him. That was an amazing play back to the ball. The tight end is open, and that is really badly thrown. But, of course, Oliver adjusts to the ball. I mean, this offense, it's probably going to be worse than last year. Obviously, we are missing Terry McLaurin. And hell, Emmanuel Hall came in every once in a while. But it's made up of players that are very aware. They're very aware of everything going on. And there goes Gibson slipping and fighting forward. However, that could be a fumble picked up by, I believe, an offensive lineman. No, it was not. It was Parsons, the wide receiver. I don't know if he actually fumbled that or not. Would be interesting to see, but as of right now, not. It doesn't really matter too much. We're going to throw to the running back. Great awareness once again by Mr. Gibson. Fullback dive. I think we're going to audible this to pass to Beal, potentially. Back of the end zone, and of course that you can't blame him. Can't blame him. Try to catch him off guard with Gibson up the middle from the 3 on 3rd down. And Gibson maybe should have been a little more patient, follow the left side, but saw the little opening, thought we could power through. And, of course, we went for it from our own side of the end zone, our own side of the 50. We're going to do it here at the end zone. Oliver, Gibson, Parsons even on the sit-down. And they leave Gibson wide open. Touchdown, Washington. I will say Robinson missed a couple of throws he probably shouldn't have, but in all fairness to him, he has scored 2 touchdowns here. And now we're going to have one final drive, 2-minute warning drive. Going to act like this is halftime. You know, close score. You need as many points as you can get. And there goes Gibson slipping it for a big gainer. We get out safely, and we kind of set up ourselves a drive here. Cordero down the field. I still believe in his burning ability. And that's a tough one. Good attempt by Quez. The ball is still up. Bad decision, bad read. Not a bad throw necessarily, but I mean, it almost worked out, surprisingly. And we're going to test Quez. They're pressing on the wrong side there. Yeah, we can't test them. Can test Cordero, though, and that is a massive miss. With the speed of Cordero Patterson, if that ball is put on the money, that very well could have scored. I don't know, but man, I got to like the opportunity on that one if that ball is thrown there. And that's just kind of a pass interference. Well, not a pass interference. Kind of a pressured throw, kind of forced out. Mr. Gaines, the number 2 return man, really just for his sure-handedness. And look at him breaking tackles. Really for his sure-handedness. Comes up with a decent return, actually. And, of course, the new quarterback comes in to start the 3rd. Mr. Josh Rosenberg. It's not Rosen, it's just Rosen, but thought it was funny. All right, we have our line. I like the play-action look from the very first throw. Why not test these guys? Why not test them? The first throw of Josh Rosen's, I would maybe assume Washington career, is a touchdown. 73 yards of Patterson. Especially with the new drop-offs on the team, Patterson's got to get more play time. It's just simple fact. He's just too talented not to. Let Rosen gunsling some more. Why not, right? Let's see it. Of course, we are going against more backups, and Cordero is kind of, on... Oh, my. Look at the speed, and look at the block, Gibson. You're normally a high IQ, high-effort player. I don't know what that is, as Gandy Golden's scoring there. I mean, we are going against the backups here, but at the end of the day, say what you want. This is still a really good performance from Rosen. And Gandy Golden, honestly, I don't think that's Rosen's fault. Oh, boy. Ooh-wee. Rosen. I don't think that's Rosen's fault. I think Gandy Golden just did not have the cut he should have. And this is where you take Cordero, who drops the ball, unfortunately. Really good step up there. Maybe threw it a little too early. Could be our fault. I mean, we kind of know what our run game entails. We know kind of the rankings. So I like throwing the ball here. And that is inaccurate. Once again, it's another iffy kind of route, execution from Gandy Golden, but that one's a little too far inside for any chance to have been had. And that's another really good throw over the shoulder. Quez scores. Man, there are some quarterbacks on this team with some talent. There's no run audible on this? That's strange. And there goes Gandy. Slightly overthrown. Man, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. Those two just cannot really hook up. I mean, that's just... I'm going to tell you, 2nd and 10. Bryce Love getting in there and fighting forward for a gain of about 4.5, 5. I mean, those two, Gandy Golden is burning here. I'm almost thinking Gandy Golden's number 2 tight end. I mean, look at him burn. It's just not even fair. Look at him. I mean, I don't know how his blocking's going to be, but man, maybe we shouldn't have went for a tight end. We didn't get to see much from Julian, but I mean, both of the backup tight ends have looked pretty good. Oh, look at that throw on the run. And Gibson's going to turn it into a gain of about 15. Man, I really like the quarterback play around here. I think the system's just flawless. And I don't know if we're going to have the time to develop Gandy Golden here, but if we do, he could be wide. Yeah, we don't have the time for it. Cordero will get the touchdown, but that may be a holding call. There was a lot of pressure on the inside. It would not surprise me. It is actually roughing the passer, and you know damn well we accepting this. No, we're not, actually, because I thought it was going to tack on. It should, right? Why wouldn't it? Now, I know we could probably watch this offense play all day long, but we gotta let it go. Of course, we did have our starting offensive line in there, which obviously makes a decent bit of a change, considering, they blitzed and we still held up pretty damn well. But, wow, what a preseason performance from pretty much everybody. I mean, there was nobody that really played poorly outside of maybe Fuller, I suppose. I mean, the interior of the D-line looked good. Chase Young looked pretty damn good. He was rushing hard. Montez Sweat would have liked to see a little bit more. Linebackers maybe were slacking, but I mean, if I had to give everyone a grade, I'd give an offense an A+, and then the defense like an A-. It was really good, going against a really tough team too. So once again, that is preseason, so you can't really, make your judgments yet. Maybe too early, but boy, was that a good one. I mean, all of our quarterbacks were better than Trey Lance was for them. All of them. Rosen was solid. Robinson was solid. Titus didn't get really much of a chance, but electrifying run, some really good throws in there. Rushing, maybe not the greatest performance on the ground, I suppose. Hubbard was actually kind of iffy. Cordero Patterson he had a game. He just had a game. There's nothing else you could say about it. Defensively, Porter Gustin with 2.5. Love to see it. Matt Gay missed a kick, which is unfortunate, but really good stuff. I love it. Of course, the guys have been working with Sadiq, obviously, but it's been a bit of a challenge. We're going to finally see some upgrades from just straight-up learning. Pass block power for Sadiq Charles obviously makes a lot of sense because he's on the interior, going to be going against those bigger guys on average. And there goes Brandon Sheriff teaching more to Sadiq Charles. A 3 awareness boost, obviously nice. And now Cordero Patterson, a guy I definitely want to teach Reggie Carter because he knows a thing or two about a lot of things, really. As far as what we want, I think we're going to go with faking out tacklers. I think that's what Cordero's best at, and I think Carter could definitely be a little Cordero himself in the future. 3 juke move, not bad at all. Now, as far as the team is played on their own, there was a loss, but I don't know what happened in this loss. Campbell threw an interception. I guess that was one of the reasons. Rushing, not really much to show for. Receiving, not really much to show for once again. Sack totals, Porter Gustin has been, that man has been on a tear ever since he joined this team. Gotta love that man. He's just a hero. And then at Tennessee, we did win this game. Seth Robinson with a touchdown, but he did throw a pick. Titus Campbell, one of his bigger breakout games. Really good percentage as well. Gotta like that. Hubbard, nice game. Gibson, nice game. Love had a touchdown. Receiving, Carter, 4 for 75. Sims, 7 for 64. Julian Kelly came up big. And then looking at the sack totals, Deron Payne got one. No Porter Gustin for the first time ever. Christopher Favorite, the rookie linebacker with an interception. And then Jacob Martin, the pass rusher, with an interception. And, of course, Matt Gay, perfect for the majority of the preseason so far, which you got to love. And then going on to week 1 against the Niners, which is the perfect matchup because I believe we made a trade to them. I can't remember exactly what that trade may have been. What was it? Was it for players? It might have been for picks. We definitely traded with them, though. I don't remember exactly. Oh, they also have Orlando Brown. That seems... We got their tackle, but they got one that's just as good, maybe even better. I can't remember who the hell we traded to them. It might have just been draft picks, like I said. So, not a bad-looking roster at all. Obviously, we're going to hopefully continue this win streak. As far as prediction on the season, I think you got to predict to make the playoffs. I still believe in this team wholeheartedly, even though we took a lot of hits around the entire roster. Regardless, though, that is going to be the offseason of our Washington football team franchise. We've completed the 19-0 season. Hopefully, we don't do a reverse 19-0 now, where we go 0-16. That would be pretty sucky. But hopefully, you guys are excited for the season as much as I am, as obviously it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, with Campbell hopefully staying healthy, him running around and making crazy plays. Obviously, it's going to be next man up with 2 really good wide receivers off the team now. The real issue I have is that we could have injuries throughout the season. Once again, Reuben Foster stayed relatively healthy, but he missed 5 or 6 games once before. It could easily happen again. Same with Darby. Darby is the #1 corner on this team now, which is probably the most scariest thing anyone's ever had to say. And I can't really ask Fuller to drop down there if we have injury, because I just don't know if he'll do it. That's the dangerous thing about players demanding position changes and, or walking, really. So it's going to be an interesting season, to say the least, and hopefully you guys are going to rock with me for that season. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!